This entire fight that's going on between the government, Air India on the one side and the pilots on the other is also impacting people like me. Our viewers watching this broadcast are having to pay much more, Minister, for airfares than earlier because the other airlines, Kingfisher as we know isn't a problem, other airlines are making a killing. Fares for say Delhi, Mumbai, which were earlier about 10-15,000 rupees are now up to 24,000 rupees. You know, they've more than doubled. Do you have a plan of bringing these skyrocketing airfares down, especially at a time when the holiday season is on, people want to go out, travel, they're being impacted because of this mess, sir?
Rahul, don't blame it on the pilots' strike, whatever that is you are saying, because right now we are flying as many passengers domestically as we were in the first week of May when the strike started. There was in the beginning some confusion that Air India pilots are on strike, so they thought domestic flights will also be affected. But right now I can tell you that we are flying as many passengers as we did in the beginning of the strike. Now the reason for what you are saying, the higher fares, there could be many reasons, but don't forget that in the peak season the fares have been going up. And also the fuel prices have gone up, aviation fuel, the airport charges have gone up. And remember that DGCA monitors the fares. So whatever the fares the airlines charge, they are put on their websites. And if they deviate from them, DGCA will crack down on them.
No, sir. DGCA has asked airlines not to increase their fares, but clearly the airlines aren't listening.
Yes.
In sectors where fares were earlier 4-5,000 rupees, they're now going up to 20,000 rupees. Your regulatory body is not being heard by the airlines. They're making a killing and passengers are suffering.
Rahul, remember one thing, that if you book your flight 1 month ago, it will be 4,000 to 5,000, and if you book it on the last day, it will be much more. I personally remember 3-4 years ago when I was going to Bombay regularly, the return fare cost as much as more than 50,000 rupees. So therefore, yes, but if you are saying, and I have heard these complaints, I'll have them examined again. I'll look into them definitely.
That's an important promise you're making to our viewers because they've been feeling the pinch. This is the holiday season, several parents calling and saying that their holiday plans are being spiked because of the fact that ticket prices are simply unaffordable. Forget trying to fly outside, even flying within India is very exorbitant. What we're doing during this broadcast, sir, is giving some people who have a sense of the aviation sector an opportunity to ask you questions because these questions have been in the air and it will be wonderful if we can use this opportunity to get you to answer some questions. Jitendra Bhargav is joining us on this broadcast, former Executive Director of Air India. The Minister is with us on the line, Mr. Bhargav. What's your question to him, sir?
Yeah, Mr. Jeet Singh, I am fully appreciative of the stand you've taken with regard to discipline being brought about in the airline. As far as that is concerned, I have no disagreement. But what I would like to ask you is that once the strike is completed 30 days, all right, pilots are outside the airline at this juncture. But what happens to the airline? Once Air India is out of the market for a long time, Air India will lose out heavily, not only in terms of finances, in terms of market share, in terms of passengers. Now, shouldn't there be some urgency reflected for resolving the strike? Rather than take the adamancy route and say we will not talk to the pilots at all.
Let the Minister
Bhargav, we never said we will not talk to that. Again and again and again, and I just said on this session, we are willing to talk on any issue. But let them join. And as far as you see losing the market share, I just mentioned that domestic flights, we are at the position where we were when the strike started. In the international, we are flying 48 routes against 55 which were there earlier. Our international passengers are now 11,000 last week. Normally it has been around 13 or 14,000. In another 2-3 months we will start flying back to Hong Kong and some other new destinations also. And again, let me tell you, Mr. Bhargav, there is no adamancy. I am prepared to talk to them, listen to their every grievance, but they just must come back to work. See, if they don't listen to the High Court, if they don't want to join work, what should I do? What should I talk to them about? They deny the Dharmadhikari report, they will not accept it. Tell me, where do I start the dialogue? And with whom?